2 News Oklahoma Sports.
Welcome into sports, everybody. There will be no championship celebration in the state of Oklahoma tonight. Game 6, the Oklahoma City Thunder with a chance to bring home the first professional sports championship in this state's history. Dan, this young team, trying to become the youngest NBA champion since 1977, did not meet the moment at all. Mark Daigneault, speaking just a bit ago, called it uncharacteristic, disappointing, and collective. That's about right. Everybody was involved in. They stunk.
You knew Indiana was going to come out and throw the first punch and really be the aggressor in this game. Obviously, their backs are the ones that are against the wall. Oklahoma City a little bit of a cushion in terms of having a game on Sunday if possible. But you've found very little from this game that you can take positively of. It's more of a, you got to flush this one and move on.
The worst we've seen this team play since, of course, Game 3 in Minnesota. They bounced back and won Game 4 there. Game 7's coming Sunday. Let's take a look at the highlights, huh? Game 6, here we go. First quarter, the Pacers missed their first 8 shots. Tyrese Halliburton in that starting lineup. But then they make 8 of the next 10, including 5 3-pointers. J-Dub putting OKC up early. It was 10-2, and the Pacers go on a 24-7 run, Dan.
A lot of that because of steals like that. Of course, T.J. McConnell has his hands right. 16 most steals allowed by a Thunder team since 2022.
Indiana leads 28-25 after one. OKC forcing 0 turnovers in the first quarter. For the first time in 35 games, Dan, Indiana was a team playing with better forward. They looked more like OKC than OKC looked like OKC.
They played the game as Oklahoma City has been playing this series. 21 turnovers. That is the second most in a playoff game in Thunder history.
Second quarter was really all Pacers. After a quick little run, J-Dub cuts the lead to 1 at 32-31, 16 points in the half for J-Dub, who, of course, scored 40 in Game 5, 15 for Shea in the first half. But it's Indiana turning over OKC over and over again. It was big in a 17-2 run. T.J. McConnell had his hands all over it, so did this guy Halliburton.
How about this dunk, though? I mean, as a basketball fan, that's just nasty. It got both of us out of our seats, and it was really the moment where you're like, all the momentum's on their side.
Not going to be our night. 64-42 Pacers at the half. The turnovers, 12 for Indiana forced, 2 for OKC. Exactly the opposite of what we've come to expect. Third quarter was just UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. Early for both teams, but more for the Thunder.
Shout out to that fan who was really just supporting the troops. As you mentioned, I mean, when Shepherd steps in and he's hitting buzzer beater shots like that, it is not your night. And not much to see from the second half from the Thunder, although we will get a nice Kenrich Williams three-pointer, I believe, to cut it to like 27.
I look forward to that. 4 of 17 shooting in the third for OKC. That shot from Shepherd make it 90-60 at the end of 3. OKC putting its starters on the bench, waving the white flag to start the fourth. Your final score, 108-91. Indiana forces that Game 7. 21 turnovers for the Thunder. Indiana with only 11, a -10 in the turnovers. Never happens to OKC, Dan.
And the Pacers' largest lead you see there was 31. You brought it up. It reminds a lot of people of that Minnesota game. But the Thunder did not play this bad in that game. That game was a lot of Minnesota's making shots. Indiana didn't have a fantastic shooting night by any stretch of the imagination. 108 points isn't exactly blowing the doors off in terms of scoring, but the Thunder just couldn't get anything done, couldn't get movement, turned the ball over, really fell victim to the Pacers' pace.
A young team that has been the best team in the NBA this season. On this night, not ready to win a championship.
But what are they really good at?
Will they fix that by Sunday? Tell me.
Bouncing back.
That's true.
18-2 with an average win of 17.5 points.
This guy knows. What a positive note to end on. 108-91, Game 7 Sunday at 7. We'll talk to you then in OKC. That's it for sports. Back with more after this.
So I appreciated that Dan ended sports on a positive note. We have Game 7. We have Sunday. There's still a chance.
We did, in fact, put the cart before the horse, perhaps.
Look, as
a little bit,
as Diane Lindblad always says, you fail to plan, plan to fail. So you always have to have some kind of plan.
I think the plan was pretty good.
I love that, and I feel like Oklahoma was on board though. Everybody was excited. Everybody had
We'll get excited
confidence.
again.
Absolutely,
we'll get excited again. Sunday, 7 o'clock. 2 most exciting words in all of sports. Game 7.
Game 7.
We got one right here.